A young woman named Abini clutched a worn photograph. It was her only comfort, a picture of her family back in Nigeria. Abini dreamed of a life beyond poverty, a life where her future children wouldn't go to bed hungry. Europe shimmered in her mind, a beacon of opportunity. Leaving her village under the cover of darkness, Abini embarked on a journey fraught with danger. Her meager savings bought her a place on a crowded truck, filled with others chasing the same dream. The Sahara stretched before them, a vast ocean of sand baking under the relentless sun. Hunger gnawed at Abini's stomach, but her thirst was unbearable. Through scorching heat and bone-chilling desert nights, Abini clung to her dream. The photograph, creased and faded, was a constant reminder of what she held dear, what she was fighting for. Abini's story is echoed across the African continent, a testament to the human spirit's resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. Across Africa, thousands embark on journeys like Abini's each year. Driven by hope and desperation, they follow routes etched in risk and uncertainty. These routes, often dictated by smugglers, snake their way across the continent. From bustling cities to arid landscapes, migrants set off, each step a gamble with fate. The most perilous traverse the Sahara Desert, a graveyard of shattered dreams. For those who survive the desert, the journey doesn't end there. The Libyan coast, a haven turned hellhole, awaits. The Mediterranean Sea now represents a watery abyss separating dreams from reality. Imagine this. You're in Agadez, Niger. The air is thick with dust and the smell of diesel. People from all over West Africa crowd the streets. This is the start of the Western Passage, one of the most treacherous migrant routes to Europe. From Agadez, the journey snakes north through the Sahara Desert. Pickup trucks, crammed full of people, become mobile prisons. If you survive the desert, you reach the Libyan coast. Smugglers rule the streets, exploiting vulnerable migrants. The boats used to cross the Mediterranean are often barely seaworthy. Picture yourself in a small village in Chad, or maybe Eritrea, surrounded by conflict, poverty, a complete lack of opportunity. The central Mediterranean route, starting from North Africa, often feels like the only way out. Migrants often cross the Sahara on foot, guided by smugglers who exploit their desperation. Libya, with its porous borders and lack of central authority, is a major transit point. Migrants are often held captive, subjected to torture and extortion. From the Libyan coast, the journey continues across the Mediterranean. Shipwrecks are tragically common, adding to the already devastating human cost. Imagine the bustling streets of Khartoum, Sudan, or the crowded markets of Mogadishu, Somalia. This is the starting point for many traveling the eastern route, a path fraught with its own unique set of dangers. This route takes migrants through Sudan, often a dangerous country to navigate. Then, it's on to Egypt, where they face the risk of arrest and deportation. The Sinai Peninsula, with its lawlessness and brutal trafficking networks, is another major hurdle. Many migrants on the eastern route choose to bypass the Mediterranean Sea altogether. Instead, they attempt to cross into Israel through the Sinai Desert. The eastern route is a stark reminder that the journey doesn't end when you reach your destination. The dream is always the same: Europe, a place of safety, opportunity, a future for their children. But the reality, for many migrants, is far more complicated. Italy, Spain, Greece. These are the most common entry points for those who survive the journey. Many migrants end up in overcrowded reception centers, facing long waits for asylum claims to be processed. The lucky ones find work, sending money back home to support their families. But for every success story, there are countless others who struggle to find their footing in a new and unfamiliar land. The journey becomes a constant search for belonging, a search for a place where they can finally feel safe and at peace. Why do they leave? This is the question that haunts us. It's easy to reduce it to simple answers: poverty, war, hunger. But the reality is far more nuanced, far more heartbreaking. Africa is a continent on the move, driven by a complex tapestry of factors. For some, it's the rumble of empty stomachs, the gnawing reality of not being able to feed your family. For others, it's the deafening roar of conflict, the fear that forces you to flee your home. Lack of opportunity, limited access to education, the feeling that your voice doesn't matter. The decision to leave is often a last resort, a desperate gamble for a chance at a better future. Imagine this. You're a farmer in rural Africa. The rains have failed for the second year in a row. Your crops have withered, your livestock are dying. Your children go to bed hungry, their tiny bellies swollen with malnutrition. This is the reality for millions across Africa, the crushing weight of poverty that suffocates dreams and steals futures. In the face of such hardship, the allure of Europe, with its promise of jobs and a better life, becomes irresistible. And so they leave, driven by the desperation to break free from the cycle of poverty. There's a saying, silence is the language of the unheard. In many parts of Africa, silence speaks volumes. It's the silence of oppression, of corrupt governments that prioritize personal gain over the needs of their people. It's the silence of fear, of knowing that speaking out against injustice can have deadly consequences. For many, leaving is not just about seeking better economic opportunities. It's about escaping political persecution, violence, and the denial of basic human rights. Imagine living in constant fear, afraid to speak your mind, afraid to practice your religion. This is the reality for countless individuals and families across the continent. Their silence, their absence, speaks volumes about the state of their home countries. The reasons for leaving are as diverse as the continent itself, but there's one common thread that binds them all: the search for a safe haven, a place where they can live with dignity and hope. For many, this means seeking asylum, seeking protection from the very things they are fleeing. They arrive in Europe, often traumatized by their journeys, carrying the weight of their experiences on their shoulders. They come seeking sanctuary, seeking a place where their children can grow up free from fear. They come with dreams, with aspirations, with the desire to contribute to their new communities. Their stories are a powerful reminder of our shared humanity, of the need for compassion and understanding. They remind us that behind the statistics, behind the headlines, are real people with real stories. The Sahara Desert, a vast ocean of sand stretching as far as the eye can see. It's a place of stark beauty, but also of immense danger, especially for those crossing it on foot or in overcrowded trucks. For migrants, the desert is a crucible, a test of their will to survive. Imagine this. You're surrounded by endless sand dunes, the sun beating down with relentless fury. Your throat is parched, your lips cracked and dry. This is the reality of the Sahara crossing, a journey where survival is a victory in itself. The journey to Europe is fraught with danger, but perhaps the most insidious threat comes from within, from the smugglers and traffickers who prey on the vulnerable. These modern-day slave traders operate in the shadows, their networks stretching across continents. Imagine this. You've paid a smuggler a small fortune, everything you own, for a chance to reach Europe. But somewhere along the way, the rules of the game change. You're held captive, forced into labor, your dreams held hostage to your captor's greed. Women and girls are particularly vulnerable, often trafficked into sexual exploitation. The fight against human trafficking requires a global effort, a commitment to dismantling the networks that profit from exploitation. The journey to Europe is not just a physical one, it's also a bureaucratic nightmare. Migrants face a bewildering array of laws and border controls, each one a potential obstacle on their path to safety. The very act of seeking asylum, of seeking protection from persecution, is often criminalized, turning those fleeing violence into criminals in the eyes of the law. You've survived the desert crossing, endured the horrors of trafficking, only to come face to face with a barbed wire fence, a concrete wall, or a heavily armed border patrol. You're turned away, denied entry, your hopes dashed against the hard reality of border security. This is the experience of countless migrants, their dreams colliding with the impenetrable walls of bureaucracy. The asylum process itself can be long and arduous, with applicants often facing lengthy detention, bureaucratic hurdles, and the constant threat of deportation. Even if they are granted asylum, integration into their new countries can be challenging, with language barriers, discrimination, and lack of access to education and employment opportunities posing significant obstacles. The legal labyrinths faced by migrants are a testament to the complexities of the global migration crisis, a reminder that finding solutions requires not just compassion, but also a willingness to address the root causes of displacement and to create fairer, more humane systems for those seeking safety and a better life. The Mediterranean's grim toll. The Mediterranean Sea, once a cradle of civilization, has become a watery graveyard. Overcrowded boats, flimsy rafts, desperate souls risking everything. You're crammed onto an inflatable dinghy, the smell of fear thick in the air. The waves crash, threatening to swallow you whole. You know the risks, but cling to hope. The Mediterranean crossing is a gamble with death. Search and rescue efforts are often inadequate. The Mediterranean symbolizes our failure to address the migrant crisis. It's a call to action, a plea for compassion. Stories of triumph over adversity. The journey is fraught with danger, hardship, loss. But amidst the struggle, there are stories that shine a light on the resilience of the human spirit. Stories of individuals who, against all odds, have overcome adversity to build new lives. Today, their businesses thrive, a testament to hard work and entrepreneurial spirit. They are beacons of hope, reminders that the human spirit can triumph. From migrant to role model. The migrant experience is often defined by struggle, by the fight for recognition, for acceptance. But amidst the challenges, there are those who rise above, who shatter stereotypes and become beacons of hope. Consider Fatoumata, who fled violence, leaving behind a successful career as a lawyer. She arrived in Europe determined to rebuild her life, but faced countless obstacles. She excelled in her studies, eventually becoming a citizen and passing the bar exam. Today, she's a respected judge, her story an inspiration to aspiring lawyers. Section 3, A Tapestry of Hope, celebrating the contributions of migrants. The migrant story is often told through a lens of crisis, of burden, of fear. But it's important to remember that migration is not a new phenomenon. Throughout history, humans have moved, seeking new opportunities, fleeing hardship, contributing to the rich tapestry of human civilization. Migrants bring with them their cultures, their traditions, their skills, and their dreams. They enrich their adopted countries, adding to the vibrancy and diversity of their communities. They start businesses, create jobs, contribute to the economy, and bring new ideas and perspectives. Take a walk down any street in a major European city, and you'll see the impact of migration. From the restaurants serving up flavors from around the world to the shops selling handcrafted goods from distant lands, migrants have left their mark, adding to the cultural richness and economic vitality of their adopted home. But the contributions of migrants go beyond the economic and the cultural. They bring with them a spirit of resilience, a determination to succeed, a willingness to work hard and contribute to their communities. They remind us that diversity is a strength, that our shared humanity transcends borders, and that by embracing our differences, we can build a richer, more compassionate world. Section 1, Shifting the Narrative, a call for empathy and action. We've journeyed across continents, through deserts and across seas. We've witnessed the desperation, the fear, the unimaginable hardships faced by those who risk everything for a chance at a better life. We've seen the dark side of humanity, the exploitation, the indifference, the walls erected to keep those in need at bay. But we've also seen glimmers of hope, extraordinary acts of resilience, stories of triumph over adversity. We've met individuals who have shattered stereotypes, who have built bridges instead of walls, who remind us that the human spirit, even when broken, can soar to unimaginable heights. It's easy to get lost in the statistics, to become numb to the headlines. But behind every number, behind every story, is a human being, just like you and me, with dreams, aspirations, and the unwavering desire for a better future. The migrant crisis is not just a European problem, it's a global challenge that demands a global response. It's time to shift the narrative, to move beyond fear and prejudice, to embrace empathy and understanding. It's time to see the human faces behind the labels, to recognize the contributions of migrants, to celebrate their resilience, and to work together to build a world where everyone, regardless of where they come from, has the opportunity to live with dignity and hope. Investing in hope towards sustainable solutions. The challenges are complex. We need long-term solutions that empower individuals and create opportunities for a brighter future. This means tackling poverty, investing in education, healthcare, and sustainable development, creating economic opportunities and addressing conflict and instability, promoting peace, upholding human rights, and creating safe pathways for migration, reforming asylum systems, and recognizing the contributions of refugees and migrants. Investing in hope means investing in a future where everyone can thrive. Section 3, A Shared Future, Reimagining Migration, Reaffirming Humanity. Migration is a story as old as humanity itself. It's a story of courage, resilience, and the enduring human spirit. It's a story that has shaped our world, enriched our cultures, and reminded us of our shared humanity. The challenges we face today are real, but they are not insurmountable. By embracing our shared humanity, by recognizing that we are all connected, by working together, we can create a world where migration is not a crisis, but a source of strength, innovation, and progress. Imagine a world where borders are not barriers, but bridges that connect people and ideas. Imagine a world where diversity is celebrated, where everyone has the opportunity to contribute their talents and skills, regardless of where they come from. Imagine a world where everyone, everywhere, can live with dignity, hope, and the freedom to pursue their dreams. This is the future we must strive for, a future where we reimagine migration, not as a threat, but as an opportunity to build a more just, equitable, and compassionate world. It's a future where we reaffirm our shared humanity, recognizing that we are all part of one human family, bound together by our common hopes, our common dreams, and our common destiny.